Hello heroes, and welcome back to the Guild Hall. Today we're diving headfirst into the ultimate class tier list for Ascension WoW on the Rexxar server. Whether you're a battle-hardened veteran or just stepping into the world of classless chaos, this video will give you the full rundown. S tier to C tier on every class in the game. PvE, solo play, group synergy, utility, survivability, we've tested it all. So gear up, grab a drink, and let's break down which classes are ruling the meta and which ones need a little love. Let's jump in. Let's start with our C tier class. And there's only one. And I hate to only have one in this tier because it makes it sound like it's a super bad class. But I gotta put Guardian up here. Guardian is C tier because it's an okay tank, it's an okay DPS, it's an okay support, but it just doesn't make sense. And then you have to kind of be in a very specific group in order for it to even do good. So it really needs to be focused in on by the devs and kind of reworked so that it does its jobs better. It just is what it is. I apologize if that hurts your feelings, but the Guardian just needs some more love and attention to really figure out where it belongs. It just is. Moving up to B tier, we've got a wide pool of builds that are decent, but not quite top tier in my opinion. That's going to start off with Sun Cleric. Sun Cleric has some really good points, but it also has some that are really lacking. It's a good healer and an okay tank and a great DPS, and it kind of needs to mesh those a little bit better, I think, in order for it to move up any further. Maybe in the next couple patches we'll see it move up, but as it sits right now with the current patch, it's kind of the kid kicking at the door trying to really get into those upper echelons of things. Next is going to be our Rune Master. Rune Masters are kind of in the same boat as they don't really know where they belong. Are they a DPS? Are they a ranged? Are they somewhere in between? They can do some serious damage and hit really hard, but for the most part, they're just kind of there. I wish they could do better. Next is going to be the Primalist. Primalists are really, really good if you're leveling specifically to Prestige, so that you can get those level 60 boxes to pass them off to other classes. Or you're trying to get the daily boxes so you can pass those off to other classes. It's kind of in that weird zone where it's okay, but not great, in my opinion. Next is the Knight of Zaroth. Knight of Zaroth is only in B tier because of how slow it levels. It almost makes it to where it's not worth doing anything other than hoping that somebody will help you level. It's really slow, but once you get up to your 40s and 50s, this class takes off like a rocket. So I only put it in B tier because of its leveling. Pyromancer is a B tier for me for a couple of reasons. One, if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, you will never do damage. You will never be able to heal. You will never get any of your stuff to proc. You really have to read the skill. You really have to understand what Pyromancer is doing. It is not new player friendly at all. This is definitely one of those builds where you need to know what you're doing to get it to do its stuff. But once you do, this thing is an absolute powerhouse. It's still not as strong, in my opinion, as what we're going to be putting A and S tiers in, but it is a strong contender for those once you understand the class. Next is going to be Tinker. Tinker is also a B tier for me. It's mediocre at healing. It's mediocre at melee. It shines as a range, but it's one of those things where it keeps changing what it can do as a range, and so it just doesn't feel good. In one part, they're like, hey, we're going to give you a drone. The drone's going to do some really cool stuff for you. And then they change how the drone does the stuff for you. Or hey, we're going to make it to where you're an explosion expert, but then we're going to make explosions not do as much. So it keeps getting like really cool buffs and then nerfs. So for right now, it's kind of just sitting in B tier until it gets its final tweaking to where it does what it needs to do. Barbarian is also B tier for me because it's super fast at getting around, but if you're not doing the rotation right, you're never going to hit hard. And even when you do hit hard, it's very bursty. It's not sustained damage. So Barbarian really needs some love on its melee. Its ranged is kind of meh. And its support is just kind of there for giggles, I think. So it really needs some love to get into that A tier. Chronomancer, we've been playing the Chronomancer. It's a lot of fun, but I just don't think it's quite there yet in order to push it into A tier. I got to do some more play testing on it and really drill into the specs. But until I do, I feel like it's a B tier. Let me know if I'm wrong on that one. Witch Doctor, I'm also putting here in B tier because it feels like it's trying to do too much without trying to specialize. Its classes or its specs are kind of a little all over the place, but once it gets there, it's kind of solid, but it's still being outshined by the rest of them. That gives us all of our B tier. Now we're moving into A tier. Starcaller. Starcaller is absolutely an A tier class because it's got good tanking, good healing, good ranged, good melee. Like, it's all over the place. It is a phenomenal class. It's still a little on the clunky side for me to try and put it into S tier. Once that gets solved, this is definitely an S tier class. So this is your like A plus tier kind of build. Reaper is the next one in A tier. This thing has great melee. It's got great tank ability. The only area, in my opinion, that it kind of lacks on is its rogue for PvE. For PvP, the rogue build is phenomenal. You're blitzing around, you're stunning people, you're siphoning half their life away in one hit. It's great. But in PvE, it's not there yet. Um, my boy, the Felsworn, he's also down here in A tier. I wish I could put him back in S tier, but they've kind of nerfed him the way they've made it. He's another one that you really got to pay attention to for ranged and melee. You need to understand what skills morph into what, plus what combos into what. It's crazy. This requires a lot of research and a lot of paying attention in order for it to do some serious damage. Next is going to be Bloodmage. Bloodmage is phenomenal when it comes to tanking. It is phenomenal when it comes to ranged and melee DPS. It even has a hybrid build that is phenomenal. It's an overall good build, but it's another one that you really have to pay attention to on all of its specs except for tanking to do damage with it or to be decent at healing with it. You have to pay attention. If you don't, I'm sorry, you're going to fall short every time. Witch Hunter, this one just got a major nerf to it. It was S tier until that nerf because it did have in its melee tree, was it Flames of Sin, I believe was the skill of it. And you could proc that on so much stuff. It was ridiculous. Like you were doing hundreds of thousands of damage in 5-man normal dungeons. It was insane during certain pulls. Now you're lucky if you're staying at the top of the DPS charts because they took away that skill. Ranger, still super solid. Somebody asked me about PvP, so I'm going to have to go back and revisit this one to double check those and do a build guide on that since somebody's asking for it. But yeah, it's still solid, especially if you're doing the support role or the pure archery role. The melee role is lacking severely, and I'm sorry, but the Ranger should not have a melee build. Sorry, Brigand is terrible, don't play it. Necromancer is A tier for me. It's another one that you really have to pay attention. Plus, if you're trying to solo content, it makes it very hard because stuff won't stay in your area of effect. If you've got a solid tank with you, though, this thing definitely jumps up to S tier. So this is another one of those A plus uh, tier builds. But yeah, it just needs a little bit more love in order for it to sit up there in S tier constantly. Same thing with Stormbringer. Stormbringer is a solid AoEer with one spec. It's a solid A tier for its solo or its single target damage. It's great for its support role. It just doesn't do enough, in my opinion, to quantify it being an S tier, which is the next tier we're going to talk about. These three right here are arguably the meta that everyone is going to want to play when this thing goes live. You've got Cultist. Cultist is great all around, whether that's tanking, healing, melee DPS, range DPS. This thing has it all, and it puts out all of it. Venomancer, again, great tank, great heal, great range, great melee. It's just phenomenal across the board. And Templar is by far right now the only class as a tank that can solo 5-man normal dungeons. None of these other classes can do it to the same efficiency as this guy can do it. Are you doing it fast? Absolutely not. But are you completing it? Absolutely. You can do it on a Templar. And there you have it, Guildies, the full breakdown of every class in Ascension WoW on Rexxar. Remember, the meta is always shifting, so let me know in the comments what you think deserves a spot in S tier, or if I missed the mark on your favorite build. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and ring that bell to stay up to date on all things Ascension. Thanks for hanging out with me today, heroes, and as always, I'll see you out there, Guildies.